The best thing about having lots of really smart people watch this channel is they often remind me what I myself have forgotten. Last summer we did a podcast involving a letter from a public defender. I think the guy called the letter Public Defender No More. And we did a podcast, and we also posted the letter as a letter from a public defender. I'm going to include it in the book later on this year. Anyway, the gist of the letter was, it was kind of like recapping this guy's experience dealing with black criminals that he had to defend because he was a public defender. And the gist of his letter, his message to white people, Asian people, young people, old people, gay people, straight people, kitties, puppies, and turtles, and goldfish was, if you knew how much black on white and black on Asian hostility there was out there, you'd stay in your house 24/7. That's not really an option for us. It's not really living. And so we see all this enormous amount of black on white, black on Asian violence like we're going to see here. But the most troubling part of the violence to me is the little fairy tales that people make up to go along with it. Let's keep our head on a swivel. Let's not use earphones. Let's not go out at 6 a.m. Let's not go out at 6 p.m. Let's go out just with lots and lots of friends. It's funny when you talk to cops about that, about how they stay safe on the job. They never say that. They never say any of those things. Let's watch these videos, then I'll remind you how cops stay safe on the job.
New details tonight. Collierville police have made an arrest after a woman was attacked. She was walking down the street at Market Boulevard and Green Oaks last week.
Yeah, that incident put a lot of people in the city on high alert. Fox 13's Alexa Lorenzo was in Collierville today. Alexa, how are people reacting to the news, not only of the crime, but also of the arrest tonight?
Everyone I spoke to was stunned. I spoke to one neighbor who says he's lived there for 20 years and nothing like this has ever happened near his home. It's a quiet neighborhood where people water their lawns and take a nice walk on any given day.
It's just a beautiful neighborhood, your great American city.
But in this beautiful neighborhood, an attack took place.
Well, I was just very surprised, very, very surprised.
Collierville police say a woman was walking down Market Boulevard at 10 at night when she was attacked by a man last Tuesday. Almost a week later, police make an arrest. They put Kadarius Llewellyn behind bars on aggravated kidnapping and criminal attempt rape charges.
You never know, who's driving by or who's out there, and that's something that you have to be aware of no matter where you're at.
Smith told me it's all about being aware of your surroundings, regardless of how comfortable you feel in an area.
You just have to be wise and prudent in your decisions and what you do.
But for people who call this a quiet neighborhood where people water their lawns and take a nice walk on any given day, nothing will really change.
It's very, very safe. No doubt about that. Very, very safe.
Police want to remind you to always check your surroundings and try to walk in a group of people.
Chief describes the attack, which happened right here outside of the Walgreens on West 38th and Peach Streets. And now, a man who witnessed the attack is being hailed a hero. 30-year-old Stevelyn Robinson is charged with aggravated assault, possessing an instrument of a crime, and reckless endangerment in connection to the attack. Police say Robinson cut a woman's throat with a box cutter outside of Walgreens after she refused to give him money. According to the criminal complaint, witnesses called police after they saw Robinson standing over the victim while she screamed for help. Before officers arrived, Erie Police Chief Dan Spazzarni says a man who was at the store stepped in and stopped the attack from going any further. Police then arrived and arrested Robinson inside of the store and found the box cutter in the parking lot. Chief Spazzarni says the man's decision to intervene could have very well saved the victim's life.
There was a gentleman that stepped up did a great job, basically scared him off, and he may have saved her life. We're getting more information on that, but we look to have some more information here in a short time.
Chief Spazzardi says that the victim is currently in stable condition.
This is fairly standard stuff for a cop now. Cop makes a routine traffic stop, a routine stop of a suspicious person, and the black person feels the cop has no right to stop, question, or arrest him because crime is the new black entitlement. It ends up like this. These situations can get very, very dangerous very quickly.
You not white, bitch! You fucking pig! White. You pig! I'm white. And your trade is my trade. I'm Detroit neighborhood. Ooh.
My dad passed away last June, and I remember me and my other siblings, we looked back, we're like, there's Fusako. So she saw me bury my mom, my dad, and the running joke in the whole street was she was going to outlive everybody. And she would have too. Somebody asked me today, well, what are your feelings about your neighbor? I'm like, that's not, you don't live right next door to somebody for 55 years and call them your neighbor. That's your family. Fusako's been walking there all my life. I've even walked it a few times with her, and I used to laugh at her like, I can't believe it, Fusako, you're 20 years older than me and you can outrun me. But she went outside every morning like clockwork. Never been no problem. We grew up in that neighborhood, so we have no fear of it because that's home. So you're not afraid of where you live. You're not supposed to be. So no, we all felt the same way. You know, we're all military people on that street. So it goes deep.
Here's something we don't hear enough about in San Francisco, but it happens a whole lot. We've done a lot on it. There's a couple of older Chinese people who are on their way to the airport to visit China. On the way, one of the fellas pops out, beats the hell out of him, beats the hell out of her, steals the cell phone. The paper would like to remind us that the injuries were minor. The injuries to an 80-year-old person getting the hell beat out of them are minor. Good Lord, where do they pick up these fools they call reporters? What's that guy's name? Drew Castelli? Good Lord, Drew, I bet if you stub your toe in the morning, you're calling in sick to your newspaper.
Caught on camera, CPD surveillance cameras were rolling when a group of 4 young men grabbed a woman's bag from her, sending her sprawling onto a sidewalk in the Loop. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Bang. Taman Bradley has the night off. WGN's Marcella Raymond is live from the Loop with more on the search to track down those suspects. Marcella.
Hi, Jackie. Yeah, take a good look at these 4 offenders. Chicago police say they have been involved in a number of strong-armed robberies. In a city where cameras are everywhere, criminals still think they can get away with robbing innocent people.
That sounds horrible. Now I'm nervous when I have to get off work at a certain time of night because I work late shifts, so that's crazy.
But this didn't happen at night. It was 3:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday, June 6th. This is what police cameras show. 4 men walking west on Jackson across the street from the Kluzinski Federal Building and in front of the Union League Club. We zoom in closer to get a better look.
So those are the suspects?
We showed the video to Brianna Bell.
It makes you have to be more aware of your surroundings. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The men keep walking and then see a vulnerable target, a woman holding a small bag or possibly her phone. They violently rip it out of her hand. She spins around and falls to the ground. The attackers scatter. We also showed the video to Cristina Prieto, who's visiting from Spain and traveling alone.
That's kind of sad, like not feeling secure in the streets.
Right. So you're like totally vulnerable.
I am.
To people.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like that because it's not fair.
Put it down! Put it down! Shots fired. Nail down. Get down! 18, start me 56, 61, start me 16, 17, and ID on a 48. Shots fired, male shots, officer's okay. You good? I might be stabbed, I'm not sure. I'm gonna cuff him. I don't know. Sit back. He's still got the knife in his hand. Drop it! Drop it, motherfucker! Drop it. I got him. Tommy, cover me. Go. Roll over. Get to your stomach. Roll over. Watch his arm. Watch his arm. You, hey, keep that fucking gun out. You cover me. Make sure no one sneaks up on us. Male is shot. We're okay. I'm all right, but I might be stabbed.
Like the guy that cut you off? No, this guy is a car is black. Black? Black car? Okay. Any more description there?
Go, man. Put it down! Put it down!
Go! AD, shut the fire, male down!
18, start me 50, 61, 51, 16, 17, 48. Shots fired, male shots fired, officer's okay.
You good? You good? Did he get you? I'm gonna cuff him.
I don't know. Sit back. You still got the knife in his hand.
No, he dropped it. He dropped it. Dropped it.
I got him here.
Go.
Roll over. Get on your stomach. Roll over.
All units, all available units on the air, signal 600 floor,
Watch his arm. Watch his arm. You, keep that fucking gun out. You cut it out.
Make sure no one sneaks up on us.
And so when cops talk to themselves and to their friends about how they stay safe, do you ever hear cops saying, oh yeah, we don't you wear headphones, we do this, we do that, we do all these fairy tales that we hear on these videotapes said by people who never know what they're talking about? The cops stay safe by carrying a gun or a taser or one of those batons, those metal baton wands. That's how they stay safe, by protecting themselves with weapons of varying degrees of fatality. They don't stay safe by having their survivors come back after the cop is dead and say, yeah, he tried to talk that guy down, but it never happened. Maybe they should be patrolling with 15 cops at a time, and Lord knows we're losing way too many cops to way too many cases of black on cop assault and murder. What is it? There are two cities now, one's Seattle, one's Indianapolis. It's amazing nobody connects these dots. I mean, these dots are like staring us in the face. And they're huge. Same story out of both cities. Cops don't want to work there anymore. Cops are leaving in droves. They can't replace the cops. And though the cities are not identical in their level of black criminality, they're identical in the level of denial, deceit, and delusion from the public officials and reporters who ignore, deny, condone, excuse, encourage, and even lie about it. So the cops know that their bosses are basically hostile to them. Because the people who run these police departments, even if it means betraying the cops, abandoning the cops, go ahead, ask me for an example of that. Abandoning the cops, they're just not going to make the black kids angry.